Most people think the dangerous part of aging happens during the day. They worry about stress, unhealthy food, lack of exercise, or high blood pressure. But very few people realize that one of the most sensitive moments for the body happens in the first minute after waking up. And there is one habit millions of adults over 60 repeat every single morning without even thinking about it. They wake up and immediately jump out of bed. It feels harmless, normal even. But for an aging cardiovascular system, that sudden movement may place far more strain on the body than people realize. Today, I want to explain what actually happens inside the body during those first moments after waking up, and why a slower morning routine may help many adults feel steadier, calmer, and more supported throughout the day. And at the end, I will give you a simple 90-second morning routine that many people say helps them feel less dizzy, less rushed, and more balanced when they begin their day. The first thing to understand is this: your body changes dramatically in the early morning hours. While you sleep, your heart rate slows down, blood pressure lowers, breathing becomes steadier, the body enters a quieter state. But before you even fully wake up, your nervous system begins preparing the body for activity again. Natural stress hormones start rising, heart rate begins increasing, blood pressure slowly climbs. This is a completely normal biological process. The problem is that after 60, the body often responds more slowly to sudden changes in position and circulation. Blood vessels are not as flexible as they once were. Balance reactions may take longer. Hydration levels may already be lower after several hours without water. So when someone goes from lying flat to standing immediately in just a few seconds, the body sometimes struggles to adjust smoothly. Many people know this feeling very well. They stand up quickly and suddenly feel lightheaded, weak, foggy, or unsteady for a moment. Some ignore it completely because they assume it is just part of getting older, but often it is the body asking for a slower transition. And honestly, one of the simplest changes many adults can make is giving the body a little more time in the morning before standing. I remember speaking with a man in his late 60s who described his mornings almost exactly the same way every day. Alarm goes off, immediate movement, straight out of bed, straight to the bathroom, no pause at all. He told me he often felt slightly dizzy in the mornings, but he ignored it because the feeling passed quickly. What surprised him was how much better he felt after making one very small adjustment. He simply stopped rushing the first minute of his day. That was it. And this brings me to what I consider one of the most important morning habits for adults over 60. Do not stand up immediately after waking. Instead, give your body a short transition period. A surprisingly helpful routine looks something like this. When your alarm goes off, stay still for a few moments. Do not rush. Take a few slow breaths before moving. Inhale slowly through the nose. Exhale gently. This may help the nervous system settle before the body suddenly shifts into full activity mode. Then sit up slowly instead of springing upward. Let your feet rest at the edge of the bed for several seconds before standing. This gives circulation time to adjust naturally. It sounds simple because it is simple. But simple habits repeated daily are often the ones that matter most. Now, there is another important part of the morning most people overlook completely: hydration. After sleeping all night without water, the body naturally wakes up slightly dehydrated. Even mild dehydration may affect circulation, energy, and how steady people feel when they first stand. This is one reason many adults feel noticeably better after drinking water early in the morning before coffee or breakfast. A glass of water after waking may help the body transition into the day more comfortably. And no, it does not need to be complicated. Just plain water, one full glass. Many people immediately reach for caffeine before anything else, but water first is often a much gentler way to begin the morning. Now, before we continue, if you enjoy practical conversations like this, focused on healthy aging and simple daily habits for adults over 50 and 60, make sure you stay connected to the channel. My goal is to share calm, realistic information that people can actually apply in everyday life without fear or confusion. Now let us continue because there is another reason mornings can feel harder after 60. Circulation changes with age. When we are younger, the body adapts to movement almost instantly. Blood pressure stabilizes quickly. Balance reactions happen automatically. But over time, those transitions may become slower. That means rapid movement first thing in the morning can sometimes feel much more stressful to the body than it once did. This is especially true for people who wake up dizzy, take blood pressure medication, feel weak when standing, or occasionally lose balance in the morning. And this is why slowing down those first 60 to 90 seconds can be surprisingly helpful. One habit I often recommend is moving the ankles gently before standing. Simple ankle circles or flexing the feet a few times while sitting may help encourage circulation in the legs before walking. Again, nothing dramatic, just helping the body wake up gradually instead of demanding instant performance from it. Now, I want to mention something important here. A lot of people assume feeling dizzy in the morning is normal for aging. I do not think it should simply be ignored. Sometimes it may be related to dehydration, medications, blood pressure changes, lack of sleep, or other factors worth discussing with a healthcare professional. Paying attention to these signals matters. The body often whispers before it starts shouting, and small symptoms that repeat regularly deserve awareness. So let us quickly go through a simple morning sequence that may help many adults feel steadier and calmer after waking. First, when the alarm goes off, do not rush to stand immediately. Second, take a few slow breaths while still lying down. Third, drink a full glass of water before starting the day. Fourth, sit at the edge of the bed briefly before standing. Fifth, stand slowly and give yourself a moment before walking. That is it. No expensive products, no complicated routines, just a calmer start to the morning. And honestly, many people underestimate how much the pace of the morning affects the rest of the day. Rushing the body the second you wake up often creates stress before the day has even begun. A slower start tends to create a steadier rhythm, physically and mentally. Now let me say one more thing, because this matters. Good health after 60 is usually not about one giant change. It is rarely about perfection. More often, it comes from small protective habits repeated consistently over time. Better sleep habits, better hydration, better movement, less rushing, more awareness. And those little things quietly add up. If you made it this far, I would love to know something. Do you usually get out of bed immediately after waking up, or do you already take your time in the morning? Let me know in the comments because I read them carefully and they help shape future conversations for this channel. And if you know someone who always jumps out of bed the moment the alarm rings, share this video with them. Sometimes the smallest daily habits are the ones people never realize deserve attention. Thank you for spending these minutes with me today. And tomorrow morning, before you rush into the day, give your body a little extra time to wake up with you.